Today, my friends and I are going to be the narrators for this wonderful fairy tale. Within the story are other fairy tales, and we want you to try and guess the fairy tales that are within the story by the clues given. Go ahead and find a piece of paper and pencil and number 1 through 5 to write down your guesses. Good luck.
Once upon a time there was a king. The king's name was King William. The king loved stories and he loved to laugh. So in the court of King William, he had a court jester named Harry, who kept him in giggles with his funny jokes and stunts, and a court writer named Charlotte, who wrote a new story just for him each week. The stories would go in the court and choir for all to enjoy.
What am I going to do, Harry? I have a start. I just can't come up with anything else. I need your help.
First, before we do that, listen to the joke that we made. Why don't pirates play cards?
I don't know. Why don't pirates play cards?
Because they're always standing on the deck.
Now for your problem. Oh no, Charlotte, you're expected to have an entire story for the king by Friday, and it's already Monday.
Tell us what you have so far.
Charlotte shared with Harry her story so far. It was about a young girl named Cinderella who had two stepsisters who were very self-centered. A fancy ball was coming up, and the stepsisters were excited to go. Cinderella wanted to go, but she didn't have a beautiful ball gown to wear. Cinderella wished she could go to the ball, but all she had to wear were hand-me-downs from the stepsisters, who, by the way, probably wouldn't have let her borrow anything anyway, and they didn't have the greatest sense of fashion. She decided to stay home and watch the Food Channel.
The story had a great start. 3 sisters, a problem, actually more than one problem. The selfish sisters had no sense of fashion, and of course, a dress for the ball. The Jester Harry had an idea. It was brilliant. He would go out into the land and bring interesting people in to meet Charlotte and inspire her with stories of their life.
What do you think, Charlotte?
Yes, it will work. I'm sure some fresh faces and fresh scenarios will inspire me and knock this block off. So Harry went out all alone to bring back inspiration for Charlotte. His goal was to bring a new face to the writer. And so when the first guest arrives with Harry, Charlotte welcomes them.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. My name isn't important. What is important is the very difficult life I've had. A tornado destroyed my home and caused me to fall and bump my head. While recovering, I had a repeated dream about the color green, a scarecrow, a lion, and tin cans. While trying to figure out what this all meant, I woke up with these red shoes on my feet. That's it. I'm going home.
Harry looked at Charlotte to see if this was the inspiration she needed. Charlotte shook her head. Harry shrugged his shoulders, shook hands with the girl with red shoes, and bid her goodbye. The next day, Harry returned with another candidate for the story starter.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I hope my story inspires you. I do intend to give my story to the National Enquirer next month, but feel free to use any part of it for the King's story. Have you ever made a mistake in your life? Oh boy, did I. My mom told me to sell some stuff on eBay for cash to pay the DirecTV bill, but instead, I bought some beans. I know, beans. What was I thinking? Beans on the brain. Things got out of hand with vines. Giant ones. Let's just say fee, fi, fo, fum. What a mess I had begun.
Although the story was very intriguing, it wasn't enough to break the block. Harry and Charlotte again wished the guests well and sent them on their way. It was getting closer and closer to Friday, and Charlotte was beginning to panic. She hoped that Harry's third guest would be the one to break the block.
Okay, it started with these apples. I didn't know they had shelf life. I thought they were Granny Smith because it was a granny that gave them to me. Anyway, at first bite, wow, were they delicious. But then I started thinking about little shoes, little hats, and all things little. And then I started feeling drippy and grumpy and sneezy and happy and then bashful. But through yoga, everything is fine now.
Harry thought for sure this guest would do the trick. After all, talk about a mess. But Charlotte was still stumped. Even Harry's new funny jokes couldn't get her unblocked. There was only one guest left. This had to work. The guest arrived wearing a beautiful blue gown.
Could you turn up the heat? I'm freezing. I used to love snow cones, ice cream, popsicles, and smoothies. No more. I don't exactly know why I'm so obsessed with the cold. It has brought about a love of snowflakes. So interesting how light and delicate they are. Sometimes I go outside when it's snowing and catch them, and then I let them go. Yes, I let them go. I let them go.
Harry looked at Charlotte with hope, but no luck. Charlotte's block was even worse now because she had too much information to deal with. How could that be? Harry and Charlotte sat down, sad and disappointed. Then Charlotte had an idea. It was brilliant.
Harry had gone above and beyond to help a friend. He had taken his own time and energy to help her succeed. There was enough from this act of kindness to make an amazing story for the king. Charlotte shook Harry's hand with great gratitude.
Friends are so important in our lives, no matter what our age. You should be your friend's biggest fan and support them in whatever is important to them. This message is very important to me. I hope it's important to you, and I'll see you aboard the SS Integrity.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.